Hi, this is John from Two Doves Bees and Gardens. I want to welcome you to my bee yard. Hey, this is John from Two Doves Bees and Gardens, and today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. Today we're going to be transferring some bees out of a nuke and from a split that we created a bit ago, and we're going to move them from that nuke into an EZ Nuc, and we're going to provide these bees to someone that wants to start in beekeeping. So let's get started. Just give them a little puff of smoke to let them know I'm coming in. And you can see these girls are up on the top. We'll go ahead and let them maybe march their way down. And I'll grab my hive tool here out of my handy dandy cart. These girls may have more resources than can go into this EZ Nuc. And if they do, give them a little coax down into the box here. We'll share the resources with another hive and give that hive a jump start on resources. I hate this. There's little ants all over the place on this thing, and they're after the sweetness that the bees collect as well, so I can't blame them, but it's a pain in the butt. I don't expect to find too many things up here in this upper box, mostly empty frames. I call this a nuke super or a super nuke, this top box here. It's just to give room for a feeder and a couple of frames if the girls decide to grow exponentially during the time that I'm trying to grow them out. If they're overachievers, then they've got space to move up, and sometimes we actually find the queen has laid up a frame up here in the upper. It's unusual, but it happens, especially on really good, strong nukes that I try to provide to people. So we're just taking a quick look here. And not seeing anything but a couple of bees, so we'll knock them down into the box just to get them off of the comb, and we might be able to use that comb in another hive and let them continue growing. Again, this comb here, this frame here, is also empty. As I said, it's mostly just for extra space for the girls, just in case they get a hankering to grow significantly more than I expect. And here's the feeder, frame feeder. I'll get the girls off of here. Okay, I'll go ahead and set this out of the way. And we can take off this super. Again, coaxing the girls down into the actual nuke. So their chance, they'll find their way whether I do this or not. It's just a gentle way for me to say, hey, why don't you find your way down into the main box. Again, we'll set that aside. And now we'll get down to the meat and potatoes of this nuke. Go ahead and close this up for a second or two so we can actually have some space to see what's going on in here. And I try to be very careful and not to squish any bees as I'm opening these nukes. And sometimes it takes a little finesse to get the first one out. Let's see what we got going on in here. You can see this frame has a lot of pollen and a little bit of nectar. This is a good frame for a nuke because they've got some resources that they can take with them as they grow. These girls will be put into a 10 frame hive on Saturday. And I put these into the nuke, or this EZ Nuc, the same way that comes out of the hardware nuke, the wood nuke. So orientation and everything stays the same. Yep, there you go, girl. She was wanting to stick to my finger. Try and move them off the top of the frames here so I can actually get down into it. Take a look at this frame. It's got a lot of cat brood. It's also got some larvae. See if I can bring this in closer. Don't necessarily want to put it in the path of the smoke. Let me see if I can move this down. Check the other side. And this has some resources, some nectar, a little bit of pollen on this side. On the other side, there was definitely the brood nest, at least the beginnings of it. Lots of larvae. I'm going to guess the larvae in these cells are probably about 4 to 5 days old. We'll go ahead and put this into the EZ Nuc. Again, same orientation, same position. Let the girl crawl off my finger there, right into the EZ Nuc. And this is a good strong nuke. When I sell nukes to people, which I don't do a ton of them, this is I'll probably sell 10 nukes this year. So I don't sell a whole lot of them, but the ones I do sell, they're very strong. You can see on this frame there's lots of larvae, lots of cap brood. There's the queen. I don't know if you can see her. I'll point her out. If I can lay my eyes on her again. She was down in this corner. Here she is, right in the corner. And we'll go ahead and get this frame into the EZ Nuc. Gently put that in. We don't want to risk any damage to the queen. And that makes the rest of this job go a lot. I get to take a little breath, a little breather, because now I've seen the queen. I know she's in here. I know that she's healthy and good. She's doing her job. The rest of it's really just gravy. Let's see if we can see what we've got in here in this frame. Lots of eggs. There are lots of tiny little eggs. I'll bring this over closer. I don't know if you'll be able to see. You can see right into the frame, into the cells. But the queen in this colony is doing a fantastic job, and lots of bees. The purchaser of this nuke should be extremely happy. These bees are very gentle, and they're doing a great job. Checking to see what I can see in this frame. This is just a growth frame, it looks like, at least on this side. The other side, they're starting to fill with nectar. So this will be a food frame for them, and they'll grow it out from here. So this is a good nuke. It had some pollen, it had some nectar, has a lot of bees, and has a good queen. I'm just moving the frames that were in this nuke, the empty one that was in the top, the super nuke, and get them put away. And this is the tricky part, is getting all the rest of the bees that are in the box into their new home. Give it a tap on the ground. And then we dump them down. Doesn't make for the happiest of bees, but I think they're happier in their hive versus not being in their hive. And we'll just set this aside. We'll close this down, and we'll move this EZ Nuc right into the same position that the nuke was in. And now all the bees that are around and have been disheveled a little bit can find their way back to their home. I'm going to go ahead and open this. This front is our entrance reducer that my buddy James and I worked on. I just kind of tacked these in. It's basically a anti-robbing screen for nukes. So when we put our nukes, our splits together, we don't want the new colony to get robbed out. So we put these in place. So it's just got one little entrance right here, and then the bees have some ventilation, and then other bees try to come in this way. They can smell the hive, but there's only one entrance, and only the home bees know where to go. And that's really it for moving these bees into their new home. I'll set this hive on its side. I'll put its entrance over here and let the bees that are still inside, find their way into this EZ Nuc. And that's pretty much it for the day. Thanks for visiting. Again, this was John at Two Doves Bees.